Welcome to Open House with Gerry Cornejo, where we feature people, places, and things that are in the news or who should be in the news. And now, since our segment is business and living, we are going to be discussing the business, the Philippine agribusiness, which is of course the lifeblood of our country. Hindi ba itong nagpapakain sa ating more than 100 million people? And of course, pagdating sa agribusiness, marami mga sectors yan. But one of the most important sectors, still building, di ba? Still building up to. Nagsisimula pa lang. It is mature, but then still not as mature as the other countries in Southeast Asia or even worldwide. But we are getting there. And what we did, nag-research tayo, and then we looked for the number one in the industry. And we found out, serendipitously, that it is run by our schoolmate from LaSalle. Siya po ang chairman pala, no? I didn't know. So anyway, Tony Chua, thank you for sending us your top generals, no? So we have with us to talk about Philippine agribusiness, Mr. Danny Venida. Welcome, Danny.
Thank you for the privilege.
And Mr. Butch Mauricio. Mr. Danny Venida is the general manager of INFARMCO Management Corporation, and Mr. Butch Mauricio is a managing trustee of the INFARMCO Foundation. Okay, now umpisahan natin sa ano bang state ng agribusiness sa Pilipinas, Danny?
Yeah, it's good to talk about agribusiness, Gerry, in the Philippines by looking at it in the context of buzzwords now.
Okay.
Inclusive growth and zero poverty.
Okay.
I think agriculture has been performing dismally over the past 29 years since we acquired our political freedom. So, and yet the bulk of our poor countrymen are in agriculture and in rural Philippines. So those of us who can do something about it, I think it's incumbent on us to contribute whatever we can.
Pero when you say has been in the dismal state, how has it been during this during the term of President Noynoy Aquino? Has it been better? Pareho lang? Has it gotten worse?
No, the growth rate has even decelerated.
Decelerated?
Yeah. No, from the period 1990 to 2000, the agricultural growth rate was 1.9% per annum.
Okay.
And
1990 to 2000.
2000.
So,
and then
tail end
2000,
ito ni Corazon Aquino, term ni FVR,
and ERAP.
and a little of ERAP, 2 years of ERAP.
And then the 9 years of GMA up to now, up to 2013, it's 1.1% growth. So the contribution of agriculture in GDP has gone down from 10% to 10% in 2013, from 23% in 1995. So,
Malaki yun,
it's
13%. How about during the past administration and this administration? Anong comparison?
Well, it has been going down.
Going
because,
down?
Yeah, the agriculture has just been a neglected.
Anong reason ito? Why has this been happening?
There could be a lot of reasons, like private investments in agriculture has not been there.
Okay.
Particularly, maybe investors are afraid, no, because of ownership of land is not there.
Yeah, maybe land reform aggressively implemented could have, inhibited businessmen and banks.
So totoo yun na nakasama pa raw yung land reform na ito? Totoo ba na, I mean, in terms of productivity,
terms of
maybe
productivity.
politically, maybe, it achieved some points. Pero in terms of overall productivity, medyo nakasama itong land reform.
Yeah, one professor at UP says one effect of our agrarian reform is reducing landed rich and increasing the landed poor. So, there was no follow through in the program that would increase productivity and make the farmers competitive so that their farms will be profitable. There was no such.
Okay, now since you gentlemen are deeply involved with Philippine agriculture, at least a sector of it, anong solusyon from your perspective?
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
There,
good.
there are many templates of successful program for agricultural development. We just have to have people who will try to make them successful here in Philippine agriculture. For example, we're privileged to be working with the Department of Agrarian Reform. They have a program called ARCSES. This is Agrarian Reform Community
Connectivity. And economic
Economic
support
System
services.
Okay.
So we are helping their beneficiaries.
These are beneficiaries of the land reform
Okay.
program, and they were organized into what we call ARBOS, or Agrarian Reform Beneficiary Organization.
Okay.
Organized like a cooperative.
Mga cooperatives,
Yes,
right.
so that they can be trained on businesses. No? From having been given the land, they're now being trained to be entrepreneurs or organizations.
How has it been? Successful naman.
We're in the process of finishing their plans
Okay.
so that they can at least consolidate in marketing, in their use of equipment. We have to handhold them.
Okay.
So
Sige.
I think we need people to be able to help our farmers.
Okay, now, so what is the main problem here? I mean, parang ang tatalino naman ng nasa gobyerno. Di ba, may mga PhD yan. I mean, there are successful templates that they can look at. Meron mga best practices all over the world. What is happening? Bakit hindi nangyayari? Why is it not happening here? Why?
Well, ang ano natin kasi yung mindset din in terms of puro short term ang mga solutions natin.
Okay.
Kaya hindi tayo nagiging strategic like for the next 50 years what's gonna happen. And so that ang nagiging implementations natin short term, 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years or 6 years. Nagiging more on the price and
So what you're saying is nagiging from one administration to the other.
nag-iiba.
Okay, so every 6 years or so, ever since the time of ERAP.
Walang continuity.
Okay.
Wala
Ngayon,
tayong
where are
foundation.
we most lagging behind? Is it rice production, since it is the basic commodity? Where are we lagging most behind?
Actually, compared to our ASEAN neighbors, we're lagging in all crops.
All crops,
crops.
livestock.
In livestock, our industry, we're better off because ASEAN countries cannot export to the Philippines because of
The disease.
disease issues. No?
Yung mga
So
foot
these
and
are
mouth ba yan?
PED, the porcine epidemic. So these are tariff barriers, non-tariff barriers that will be effective even with the ASEAN community.
Okay, let's not talk about the world anymore. Mga kapitbahay na lang natin sa
No.
ASEAN. Anong ranking natin in terms of overall, the overall agricultural industry? Production-wise, marketing, everything. Nasaan tayo dyan? I mean, I think there are what, 10 ASEAN countries, a dozen?
10.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
10.
out of the 10 or so, I mean, nasaan tayo dyan? Kulerat ba tayo? Hindi naman siguro.
Well, if you're talking of rice, siguro wala tayo dun sa number 1 in terms
for
of
sure.
volume. No? Kasi sinasabi nila we import from Thailand and Vietnam. But again, if you have to compare the Philippines versus these two countries, they're basically endowed with natural resources that we don't have.
So we can count out Brunei, for example, and the smaller countries. I believe we're last after Indonesia, Thailand, even Myanmar and Vietnam. In Malaysia, in terms of the performance of the agricultural sector.
Okay, since you're privy to these things and you have been involved with the agrarian reform, anong best scenario natin? When will we see things go on an upward curve? When will it happen? How will it happen?
Darnie was saying that earlier, government support to agriculture is not there. In fact, yes, been declining. It's been dismal over the past 2 decades, 3 decades or so.
Ibig sabihin, pati budget allocation,
That's
bumaba rin.
allocation. That's less than 10% or even less than 7%.
Ideally, it should be.
Sana man kung maitaas natin to about 15, no?
Okay.
15%,
25
15 to
billion.
25.
That
All
would be
right.
a budget.
Okay.
This is a recommendation.
So, kailan mangyayari ito? Anong time frame? Best scenario to, ha? Yung everything works out fine, if the government pumps in more, laki ng budget, getting more experts, when is the soonest that it will happen?
Best estimate.
Ano best estimate mo,
I think
Danny?
I would look at in terms of the 5-10 year horizon. I think the important thing is for very definite projects to be started now. I mentioned to you about the Nakar initiative, which we would like to implement in the next 6 months in Nakar, Quezon.
Okay, excuse me. The Nakar Initiative is part of the INFARMCO Foundation. Am I
Yes.
right? So what is this all about? I mean, meron lang tayong a couple of pictures there mamaya papakita natin. But what is this Nakar Initiative all about?
This is a 15,000 hectare
Wow.
coconut
Okay.
farm owned by close to 6,000 farmers.
Okay.
A group which was spearheaded by Attorney Florencio Orendain, formerly the Pag-ibig first CEO, had technical studies made for these 15,000 hectares and master planned this whole thing so that we can be bringing processing plants, multi-cropping the whole project. We will make the farmers own this cocoa estate in 12 years.
Okay, ano ngayon ang role ng INFARMCO Foundation dyan?
We're part of implementation of the project. We're putting together all other people who can help launch this
So you are
project.
spearheading this INFARMCO Foundation?
with FBO
FBO.
Management Network Inc.
Ano yan? Ano yan?
This is Florencio Orendain
okay.
group, and we're bringing in CRC and University of Asia and the Pacific.
Okay.
And we're also bringing in Dr. Sixto Rojas,
Okay.
Dr. Villegas, so,
Okay.
and our different friends from Bancom.
So, meron tayong puro mga financing ang naririnig ko dyan. I mean, of course, that is very critical. How about in terms of technology, in terms of
from
expertise? Saan manggagaling
we
yan?
have volunteers from the UP Los Baños.
okay.
And, I think this is the approach we would like to take now in moving agriculture forward. Organize people who mean very well, want to see our agriculture to go forward, because this is the only way we can help eradicate poverty in the country.
Okay. Now, these gentlemen are part of the INFARMCO group of companies, and their main product, what do you call it? Swine breeding ba?
Yeah,
Or
we're in swine genetics.
swine
Swine
genetics.
genetics.
Iba po yung breeding, because breeding is just breeding, you know. I mean, you get a sow and a boar and you
That's
breed
it.
them.
Yeah.
That's it. Pero ito, highly specialized. I mean, from what I know, of course, they will elaborate on it. I mean, made to order nila, genetically, hindi naman
This is not
genetically
GMO.
engineered.
No.
Pero it
this
is
natural.
engineered, genetically engineered din to.
That may not be the correct term.
Okay.
Because this is a natural selection process.
Okay. Because pag sinabi mong engineering, nakikialam ka na
altered
sa
it,
natural
yeah.
selection. No, I mean, you alter the genes. Ito, you choose the best
The
breeds.
best breed, and match it with another one.
Okay.
Okay, so-
And then, am I right to say that in the industry, the local industry, kasi meron pala kayong foreign competitors.
Yeah,
Pero sa local industry, kayo nga bang number one sa industry? I mean, are you?
Yeah, our genetics has been developed since 1975.
Okay.
So 40 years of selecting the breeders that we.
Pero all Filipino ito. This was started by a Filipino, carried over by Mr. Tony Chua.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
The initial breed were from Belgium,
From
the
Netherlands,
from Germany, from Europe. But after selection, we now have our local, we can say our Philippine landrace and large white.
Okay. So, pakita natin yung mga pictures, no? Because these pictures that are coming up, ito po yung mga LeBron James, mga Tiger Woods. Ha? Na yan. Ano yan?
That's a large white boar.
Okay.
Oh.
Imported yan.
No,
This is locally bred.
Local na yan.
Yeah,
Local
locally
na.
bred.
Okay.
Oh.
Next, please. Next, please.
That's a
the
Duroc
Duroc. That's
boar.
a Duroc boar.
Okay. Ano yung mga numbers na yan? Ano yung mga 215 na yan?
In every 2 years,
Oo.
there is a boar auction that's taking place.
Ah, okay.
And these have been tested independently
Aha.
over a period of time. And then the final event is a boar auction.
Okay.
And number one there is the highest selection.
Ano ngayon ang mga, is there an average weight? These boars look big. Ano
Yeah.
bang average weight na mga yan?
So may mga 100 plus, 160, 150.
At saka ilang taon na yan?
This one is mga ano lang to.
8 months.
8
lang.
months.
8
oh,
months?
8 months
Okay,
lang.
can we have the other pictures, please?
That number, the selection index, is an average of certain parameters like average daily
Average
gain,
daily gain.
Ah,
Yes,
okay.
there
the
are.
feed conversion ratio,
Okay.
and the back fat thickness, and so the higher the grade, the better the quality of the breed.
And of course, as you can see, they are males. Lalaki puro kasi breed. So pag ang swine breeding hindi kasama mga babae rito, ano ba tawag?
Sow.
Sow, hindi kasama.
Kasama rin din siya. But the boar would contribute
Okay.
this 50%.
Ano ito? Malusog na pagbababuyan,
Papabuyan.
maginhawang kabuhayan.
kabuhayan.
This is part of ito yung part ng initiative ng
No, this is different.
okay.
These are actually the products of the INFARMCO.
Okay.
International Farm.
Okay, can we have the next slide, please? Ano
This
naman
is
to?
the card.
Yeah, this is the NACAR initiative. Our intention is to develop the experimental living community of tomorrow.
Ito yung 15,000 hectares.
15,000 hectares.
And this is where in Quezon?
In General NACAR, Quezon.
Okay.
So,
Kaya NACAR initiative.
Kaya NACAR initiative.
Okay.
And that is the master plan. Of the 15,000 hectares, we will limit the coconut to 7,000 hectares.
Anong color? Yung mga parang purple yan ang buong...
Yeah, that would be the sweet sorghum cluster.
Okay.
We will have
okay.
the green is the coconut cluster, 7,000 hectares. Sweet sorghum will be 3,000 hectares. Then we will have
sige.
1,500.
Quezon lang pala ito. I'm sorry,
Quezon,
akala ko map ng Pilipinas. Sabi ko, laki naman. This is
That's just
Quezon.
the Quezon.
This is Quezon.
The eastern seaboard.
Okay, next please. And what is this?
These are the swine breeding houses.
In
Ng
Kabuyaw.
INFARMCO yan.
Yes.
Sa INFARMCO.
Okay, and this is just one of several?
Yes.
Or this is the main?
The one in Kabuyaw is the main nucleus farm.
Okay.
And then there is what we call a multiplier farm in Quezon.
Candelaria.
Ito, anong tawag dito?
This is
That's
the
the
nucleus farm.
Nucleus farm.
This is in terms of a genetic triangle, the F1,
Yeah.
these
the
are the
base.
parent stock
Okay.
of the market hog that we normally would eat. That F1 has a parent, which we call the MB, multiplier.
Okay,
breed.
all right.
And then you have
And then that one has a parent, and which we call the subnucleus.
subnucleus.
Okay.
And then the nucleus.
So, pinaka-importante lahat yan. I mean,
Yeah, especially, yes.
I mean, it's part of the whole house. It's part of the whole pyramid, no?
Because at the bottom, that's already the production capacity of the whole industry, swine
Okay.
industry. They produce the terminal pigs.
Okay.
So the progeny there is already market hogs.
Okay, I have one kind of silly question, really. Hindi naman silly. Pero ano ba ito? Maninegosyo ba ito? Like for instance, I want to go into breeding. Can I buy one of your boars and use it as a business? Yung parang, sinong gusto ano dyan? Or is it,
Magpabulog.
or is it too expensive for gawin yung kailangan talaga big commercial scale?
The current trend now, in which we are also advocating, is to go into AI.
Okay.
Artificial insemination. We do also have a farm
Okay.
in Ibaan, Batangas. This is an AI boar station. I think that's the only one that's climate controlled in the Philippines.
Okay. So there you go. And I also found out when in our discussions with Mr. Tony Chua, aside from of course you provide these boars sa mga piggery.
Yeah.
sa mga large piggeries, no? And also, by the way, if you are interested to come up with a piggery from the ground up, INFARMCO also
design
does
from the
that,
ground
di ba?
up, yes.
In other words, you want to get into the piggery business, and you want the technology, you want the infrastructure. These are the people, and that is the company, you know.
We
Ngayon,
can also do training for them. For
kompleto
the
yan. So in
technical,
other words,
let's
it's a
say,
one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Okay, how do they get in touch with you? Meron ba
Well,
kayong central number or website na lang or paano ba gagawin?
We have a number that's
Okay.
722
Okay,
6474.
okay. And do you have a mobile line that they can...
For us, maybe.
Hindi, sa mismong
mismong
kumpanya.
kumpanya.
Okay, if you want to get in touch with INFARMCO, if you want to get into the piggery business or you have any more questions, you know, regarding that particular livestock, call them at 722-6474. That's 722-6474. Now, if you really want to get to know the company better, magpunta na lang kayo sa website.
Yeah.
No, Google nyo na lang INFARMCO, INFARMCO,
.com.
you know, .com.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, and if you would like to, kayo po muna, I mean, you have around 30 seconds to address our people, our audience.
Yeah. Thank you, Gerry, for giving us this opportunity. I think our agricultural sector needs a lot of professional support. So we're challenging those who can share of their expertise and experiences and connections and network to help our farmers. This is the only way we can start getting into zero poverty in our country.
Okay, Mr. Butch, Mauricio, i-connect nga natin yung INFARMCO Foundation sa audience natin.
All right. The INFARMCO Foundation is actually into training and development for farmers. And particularly for those who are in the in the livestock piggery business. Right? At the same time, with our program with the Department of Agrarian Reform, we help cooperatives basically do business. Because before they're organized as ordinary farmers with technology, but it is actually changing their mindset. In terms of how to run a business, right? So that is
Okay.
something that we can provide. Right now, we're helping about 110 cooperatives.
Wow, all right.
In Region 3, Region 4A, and Region 6.
Okay, so with that, maraming salamat, Mr. Danny Venida, Mr. Butch Mauricio.
Thank you very
Thank you very much for that. You know, we will definitely have you back here again to talk more in depth about, because I'm expecting a lot of reactions sa mga, lalo na sa piggery business, di ba? Because this is, I think, still a growing industry and marami pang pwedeng pumasok dito, no? So with that, again, I would like to thank the chairman and CEO, am I right?
Yes.
Of INFARMCO, Mr. Tony Chua, and of course for sending us their top generals here, Mr. Danny Venida and Mr. Butch Mauricio. I'm Gerry Cornejo. When we come back, we're going to talk about Pelicula, and we have with us the director of the Instituto Cervantes, El Señor Carlos Madrid. I'll be back right after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Open House with Gerry Cornejo. This time we were talking about the business section, and we were talking about swine breeding, and we had with us the biggest swine breeders in the Philippines. That would be INFARMCO, and this was run by our good friend, CEO and Chairman, Mr. Tony Chua. Y ahora tenemos otro amigo, and he has been here before, and this time we will be talking about a very, very special event that is being sponsored by the Instituto Cervantes and the Embassy of Manila. And we're talking about Pelicula 2015, the Spanish Film Festival. And we have with us the director of the Instituto Cervantes de Manila, el señor Carlos Madrid. Carlos, welcome again.
Gerry, un placer siempre.
Okay, so in the beginning we were talking about Instituto Cervantes, and we did talk about the Spanish Film Festival, but now it is here and it is happening, and it is something that thousands and thousands of Filipinos will be watching not only in Metro Manila, but also in other parts of the Philippines, right? In Visayas and even in Mindanao.
Indeed.
Okay, so, Carlos, what is Pelicula 2015 all about?
Well, Gerry, Pelicula is, this is the 14th edition of the Spanish Film Festival, the film festival in Spanish, that has become truly a cultural landmark in Manila. We are bringing the best and the most renowned films in Spanish that have been open in Spain or throughout the Spanish-speaking countries in 2014, 2015. For this year, as you have mentioned, we're going to be showing not only as usual in Makati and in different parts of the Philippines, thanks to our strong partnership with the Film Development Council of the Philippines. That is always our stronger partner on
With
the development.
Bricio Santos.
Bricio Santos,
Yes.
Chairman Bricio, is doing a wonderful job. And we're going to be showing the movies in Davao, in Iloilo, in Zamboanga, and besides going to outside of Manila, we are going to have a significant part of the screenings will take place in Intramuros,
Okay.
in Manila proper. As you remember, we transferred Instituto to Makati. We are
Yes.
now in the Ayala Triangle, and we want to remain in close contact with Manila. In the meantime, we prepare our cultural venue in Manila, in Intramuros, for next year, for 2016. We are already programming cultural events for Intramuros. Part of it is going to be this a good chunk of Pelicula that will be displayed in the NCCA building
Okay.
in Intramuros.
Okay, so the main show, which will start on October 8th,
Yes,
is going to be in Greenbelt. It's going to be in Greenbelt 3, that's in Makati.
Greenbelt 3, exactly.
Okay, and then that will be from October 8 to October 19 or 18?
18.
Okay, October 19 to the 25th, it's going to be in Intramuros, in
Yes.
the NCCA building.
Yes,
And this is going to be the first time it's going to be held there.
yes.
And then, is it the entire selection of Pelicula, which is around 30 films, I think?
Something
Will
like
this all go all over the Philippines or just some selected films?
There will be a selection of films.
Okay.
Based on the number given, we usually select the most demanded ones.
Okay.
And they will go to the cinematheques of the FDCP throughout the country. So all in all, we have Instituto Cervantes, the Embassy of Spain in the Philippines. We have as partners for this year, as usual, the FDCP, the Film Development Council of the Philippines, and Intramuros Administration, with whom we have been working closely and very fruitfully. And our usual sponsors, Rustan, that is joining us for the first
Right.
time and for many years to come, Maersk, Emperador, Vival
Right.
Publishing, and Greenbelt, Ayala
Right.
Malls, Qatar Airways. You may remember from previous years, Gerry, that we had this Audience Choice Award. We opened to the audiences the possibility of voting their favorite movie.
Right.
They rank their favorite ones. Then we compile all those votes, and an innocent hand, that cannot be mine, will select the vote.
Right.
And the lucky winner will get a round trip to Spain,
Right.
courtesy of
One or
Qatar
two?
Airways.
For
One.
one or just for one?
One. Then the other two you're supposed to meet in Spain. That is up to you. Up to you.
Okay. Can we show the teaser about the announcement of the Pelicula, please? Okay, so that's good. Nos vemos en película, eh?
Nos vemos.
Okay, and by the way, if you want to know the complete schedule, you can go to Facebook, okay? There are 1 billion people going to Facebook, so you won't have any problems going there. Facebook, Instituto Cervantes, Pelicula 2015, and all the schedules are going to be there. I think there are going to be 3 or 4 screenings, and some days there are going to be midnight screenings. It's going to start in the afternoon all the way to the evening. So if you're working, you can go after that. And then there are some repetitions. You know, some if you don't get to watch it in the afternoon, some of them will be shown in the evening again. And by the way, these are at very much reduced prices, courtesy of Greenbelt Cinemas. How much is it going to cost now?
It's about 100 pesos.
100 pesos.
Just to enter. It's just a nominal entrance for the aircon.
Yeah, because usually it's in Greenbelt 3, the cheapest is like 200, 210, 220, but now it's subsidized. So it's half the price or even less, I think.
Less, because we cannot charge. We don't charge for the movie screening. So
Right.
it's just a nominal fee for the running of the aircon and the electricity, etc.
Which will go, by the way, to Greenbelt, not to Instituto. They're bringing it in here for free. Now, I read in the teaser, Carlos, it said Spanish and Latin movies. Latin meaning South America, maybe, or
Well,
yeah.
yes, Jerry, because Pelicula is the film festival in the Philippines for it's just the film festival in Spanish, and has it's actually the most prominent in Southeast Asia, and of course we seek also the displaying, the screening of movies of relevance in the Americas, in Central America and South America, as long as they have been shot in Spanish or they have been co-produced or directed by Spanish-speaking countries. This year we have, as we have had in the past in other occasions, we have a movie from Argentina. This is a courtesy and in collaboration with the Embassy of Argentina in the Philippines.
Okay.
Argentina has a wonderfully active film industry, so has Mexico, and we have the collaboration of the Embassy of Mexico, and very interestingly, our good friends at the Embassy of the Czech Republic. We have, there is a film that is a co-production between the Czech Republic
Yes.
and Mexico. And
All
it's a
right.
story about the Santo Niño in Prague.
Okay.
And it's called Milagro en Praga. It's a very interesting movie.
Oh yeah, and you know, we have the Filipinos have a very strong, great devotion to the Santo Niño de Praga.
Exactly, that's what it prompted us to screen it. And also we're having, among the Spanish films that we're displaying, we're going to show the one that had the highest gross in Spain in the history of Spanish filmmaking.
In the history, okay, and what is this?
It's called Ocho Apellidos Vascos.
Okay.
It's 8 Basque family names.
Okay.
And it's a comedy about, let's put it this way, someone from Davao falling in love with a girl from Aparri, in
Okay.
northern Philippines.
Okay.
And it's the story of an Andalusian guy in southern Spain falling in love with a Basque girl in northern Spain and having to pretend to be Basque
Okay.
in order to win the heart of the father of his.
Right. Because there's some factionalism there in Spain regarding.
You know, like the cultural differences and
Yeah.
you know the traits that all of us have differently, and you know, playing with that.
Great.
It's quite interesting, quite fun to watch. Then we
Right.
have also the movie Felices 140. That is it's a comedy about comedy and you know with some tragedy on it about a family that earns the lottery award
Okay.
and the difficulties that unexpectedly arise from that. And most significantly, we have the movie we're going to screen Loreac. That's the
Okay.
movie representing Spain in the Oscars.
Currently.
Yeah.
All right.
It's,
Wow.
and it's in the Basque country. It's entirely in Basque, and we'll have the subtitles in English. And it's a very good movie. I highly recommend it as well. I recommend them all, but
Yes.
they're
These are the outstanding ones.
indeed.
By the way, all of these have been handpicked. This is not a random choice. These are all handpicked, and they are in there either for film quality and its popularity. And most of the time, both the quality and the popularity of the film. And also, by the way, don't worry, it's a Spanish film festival, but there are English subtitles. And again, I've been watching these movies más de 10, 11 años. And over the past 11, 12 years that I've been watching it, the films are so good that sometimes you forget to read the subtitles because the acting and the environment, everything speaks for itself. You know, I mean, you just have to glance at the subtitles, but they are so good that it is universal in nature. You know, you can see it from their expression, you can see it from the emotion, so very good, excellent movies. And by the way, most of your movies that you show are out of the box. They are not formula movies that we are so used to, the Hollywood movies. You know, it might be comedy, it might be action, it might be historical, pero out of the box though. Different. Now, Senor Carlos Madrid, we will show, we have a few trailers of, trailers of 3 movies. So can we please roll them so we can have an idea of 3 different trailers from 3 different movies. Can we roll it, please?
Me están pidiendo por aquí unos chistecitos con todo el arte que yo tengo.
Con lo que me gustan a mí los andaluces y la gomina. Y no me toques españolazo que te denuncio. ¡Oh, Euskadi, me cago en todo!
Es que me he enamorado. ¿Cómo te vas a enamorar de una vasca, criatura?
No te lo habrás traído a casa, ¿no? Esa tía está buscando piso piloto en Sevilla.
Será piso franco.
No hables de Franco, que se enervan.
2 días es lo que me hace falta para traer a la muchacha aquí a Sevilla. Chavala, no tiene culpa de ese vasca.
Te presento a mi padre.
Bueno, ¿y qué gano yo con esto?
3 días conmigo. ¿No te sobraba con 2 días? ¿Puedes hablar sin acento andaluz?
Epa, esto es lo que te hace un atún de 920 kilos cuando te coge con el hilo de nylon al cuello y...
¿Qué tal?
Aquí consta y tal. Ningún tipo de mal rollo, de ningún tipo.
Esa mano está baja.
Lo mismo el meñique está un poco al límite, pero todavía no estoy tocando zona blanda, ¿eh?
¿Qué cojones no lo dices en euskera?
¿Eh?
Echa ahí en euskera.
¡Euskadi tiene un color especial! ¡Euskadi tiene un color diferente!
Hasta la independencia y más allá.
¿Pero eso no es de Toy Story?
Lo que te estoy proponiendo me avergüenza, y mucho. Pero nos conocemos desde hace años y siento que tenemos esta confianza.
¿Trabajo o placer?
Las 2 cosas, espero.
Dale, salame, móvete.
¿Qué te pasa, hermano?
Buenas noches, ¿uno solo?
Digo que sos buena para las matemáticas.
El acta de infracción dice que el auto estaba mal estacionado y eso se considera prueba suficiente.
Papá.
¿Qué pasó?
¿Cómo se llama esa chica de pelo largo?
¿Cuál?
Tu compañera de trabajo.
Por culpa de ese tipo se suicidó tu papá y lo único que se te ocurre es insultarlo.
Te estoy diciendo que el cordón estaba sin pintar.
¿Sabes que sos un negro resentido? ¡Forro!
No te puedo creer.
Fílmame esto, Néstor.
¿Qué violencia? A ver. Yo estoy describiendo una realidad. ¿No? ¿Dónde está la violencia?
No sé, Ruth. Yo necesito una chica que me dé un poquito más de caña. Yo no puedo seguir con esta relación.
Bueno, a lo mejor lo podemos hablar en otro momento, ¿no?
¿Cuánto hace que te dejó, eh?
¡Que lo dejamos! 3 meses.
Qué blanda estás. No lo has superado.
Este es el nuevo becario. Ruti se hará cargo de ti.
Encantado, jefa.
Jefa.
¿Quién es Miquel?
Mi ex.
Papá, chavales, si estáis escuchando esto, estáis invitados a la boda.
yo, Alex, tu ex. La boda te va a encantar. Si tú estás contento, contenta...
Que te tengo que contar una cosa súper importante.
Espero que no sea que te vas a casar, porque llevo un día...
¿Pero quién te lo ha contado?
Mierda de boda.
Te espera una temporada movidita. Deberías ir.
Ni de coña.
¡Mirad! ¡Es Mikel!
Está más buena que yo.
No te tortures, jefa.
¡Qué grande que hayas venido! ¡Joder, y vienes! ¡Puf!
No mires ahora, pero el tío de antes no para de fichar. Te lo tienes loco.
Ya.
¿Pero qué haces?
¿Qué coño hacéis? ¡Que no grabéis, joder! ¡Que no grabéis!
I enjoyed that, Carlos. Okay.
Very good,
So
Butch.
most of those are, well, they're action films. There's drama, and there's comedy. Comedy. So, Carlos, you were mentioning. Well, we were talking about this earlier. There is a possibility that one of the movie stars might be coming, and there's also a director who is coming, right?
Yes.
So there is a big chance that there will be interaction between the moviegoers and the actual director of these films some of the films that we watched. Can you tell us a bit about this, please?
Yes, indeed. And one of the days we're actually commemorating, doing our part in the commemoration of the end of World War II in Manila, in the Philippines. And we're screening one documentary that has been done recording the survivors of the destruction of Manila. Some of them live in Spain, and there's a well-known writer and journalist, Ramon Vilaró, who will be coming just for the screening, just for the opening of the documentary in Pelicula. And the other film that it's a one-of-a-kind experience. It's a lost film that was shot in Spain in 1949. It's about the destruction of the World War II in Manila and the experiences of a Basque missionary. Now, this film was made in Spain right after the war and with very little resources, with no Filipinos to play Filipino characters.
Okay.
So it's a one-of-a-kind experience in the sense that there are only two films shot in Spain about the Philippines. This is one of them, and it was lost for 60 or 70 years.
Wow, all right.
So this is the first time it's going to be seen since 1949. There was only one surviving copy. It has been restored within the framework of a cooperation project that Instituto, Cervantes and the Embassy of Spain had with the Film Development Council of the Philippines. They have been very supportive with this. The film itself has been restored, and we're going to be seeing it for the first time.
Okay, so aside from, all this film festival will cover all genres. So whether it's history, it's drama, fiction, well, documentary is non-fiction, you have it all. And
yes, short films.
How about this? We were discussing in the press conference about the presence of this actress. Is she coming or not sure, or what is the situation?
We will be screening this Felices 140, Happy 140, and the main character, Maribel Verdú. We are negotiating terms with her manager, and she will, if everything goes okay, she will be traveling to Manila just for Pelicula.
Okay, but when she comes here, if and when she comes here, is she just going to be in Greenbelt, or is she going to be in all the other venues?
She will be, the screening of Felices 140 has been scheduled for Greenbelt 3, and there will be encounters with the audience, meeting with the audience, and discussion before and after the screening in Greenbelt 3.
Okay, and what would you suggest that, I mean, what kind of audience? Is this for everyone, or because I saw some scenes there where it could be just for adults only? Do you have, because in other film festivals, you'd be having some movies that are specifically for children or families. Do you know if you have that now, or?
We always cover all ranges
Okay.
of ages, and we program the ones that are more suitable for the family, for the younger ones in the
Earlier.
home. Earlier,
Right.
exactly. And the ones that have more adult content late at night, and we even like super late at night. In Spanish we call sesión golfa, the
Okay.
one that is at midnight.
All right, so if you want to know the exact schedules and the films that are going to be showing, and again, there will be repetitions, so some films that will be shown in the afternoon will be shown the following day or 2 days later in the evening. So there are different schedules, so don't be afraid if you miss one of the very good ones or one of the best ones, then you can watch it in another day, another time. Okay, so go to Facebook, look for Instituto Cervantes and Pelicula 2015, and all the details will be there. It's very difficult to describe 30 films here, but at least the highlights we've described. So anyway, Carlos, invite our paisanos, our kaibigans.
With pleasure. We wait for all of you, not only in Manila, in Greenbelt 3 and in Intramuros, but in Zamboanga, Davao, Iloilo, and Baguio, thanks to the Film Development Council of the Philippines. On behalf of Instituto Cervantes and the Embassy of Spain, nos vemos en Pelicula. Hasta pronto.
Okay, so with that, thank you very much, and thank you very much also to my good friend Jose Maria Gordiola. And I was also fortunate enough the other day to meet His Excellency
Ambassador Luis Calvo.
who is the Spanish ambassador to the Philippines, and of course, our good friend Mr. Carlos Madrid of the Instituto, director of the Instituto Cervantes. And by the way, they are now, for many people, they are now much better located, and this is just in the Ayala Triangle. So they can be accessible by all kinds of transportation, and very nice venue. I was there the other day when I was supposed to be in Greenbelt, but that's another story. So anyway, visit, whether it's a Spanish language you'd like to learn, Spanish culture, or about Pelicula, Instituto Cervantes. So, Carlos, muchas gracias.
Un placer, muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. And then, so until next time, thank you very much for staying with us during the past hour. And again, I'd like to thank Mr. Tony Chua of INFARMCO and Mr. Carlos Madrid. I'm Gerry Cornejo. Until next week then, thank you very much. I love you. God bless you.